Okay. Hi. Thank you all. Thank you for the introduction. So I've decided to change it up a little bit in terms of what I'm going to be talking about because we've heard some talk about NFTs and the next generation of NFTs already. This is something we've pioneered in the Polkadot ecosystem, but have since spread out into other ecosystems and they're building it everywhere, really. What I want to talk about is the incredible potential for NFTs to really be useful for much more than just media, and in particular, just static media. NFTs 2.0, as we've built them, are now a data structure that you can really use to represent any kind of technology, any kind of approach, anything that you need to build, anything that you've needed a centralized database for previously, you can now represent in NFTs 2.0. And if you can't, let us know. We'd be happy to think about use cases and solve those problems for you, because we think that this is really the new foundation of data structure storing on chain, where you can finally, get rid of just faking it until you make it, having a database that just provides an API, pretending that you have NFTs 2.0, or any other method that basically takes shortcuts. This is the true decentralized shortcut-free way of getting NFTs 2.0 out, and they can be used for so much more than static media. So if you don't know me, I'm Bruno. I founded RMRK back in 2020. You can follow me on Twitter and always message me on Telegram. I will do my best to answer you regarding this presentation or anything else. So NFTs 1.0 were kind of static images, right? So you had basically a JPEG, a movie, a song, something, and that's it. And sure, owning that gives you the right to say you own something, but it doesn't really have any utility. Maybe it has some gating, to stop you from getting into a Telegram or Discord group that you shouldn't be in, or opening up a UI for a web app that requires that you have this NFT, and that's basically all the utilities that you can have. Really, nothing special there. So what we did was we took it further, because it's been too long that these simple JPEGs have been in control of the NFT space. And so we made NFTs 2.0. And at the core, the principle is very, very simple. You have an NFT that simply has other possibilities, but also one subset is NFT 1.0. So it can still be just an image, only now it can do so much more. You can compare it to going to buy a car and you're looking at two visually identical cars at the exact same price, but one of them can also fly and go underwater. Now, you don't fly or go underwater very often, but it might be useful if the car costs exactly the same, looks exactly the same, and can also do this. And so that's the whole point. You just give more utility to what you already have while remaining backwards compatible. NFTs 2.0 are backwards compatible with NFTs 1.0 and will show up on the old school marketplaces that support NFTs 1.0. So we have made these abilities into EIPs that are now being merged into the EVM standards, which means that there will be ERCs very soon, and you can already start using them. We now have a version of this code for substrate palettes. We have a version of this code for EVM chains, and we also have a version, maybe not fully developed yet, but on Ink and also on Gear. So you can play around with any of those. Here, the slides will reference the EIPs because those are the most developer-friendly ones, but you're free to use any of them and ask us in the implementers chat for any links and resources to other information. So the first Lego here is the multi-asset aspect, where one NFT can have multiple different renders in the same NFT. So this is no longer just airdrops. Like if you have like something like a Bored Ape right now, and Yuga Labs wants to drop you a 3D avatar to use in Sandbox, they have to literally airdrop you a new NFT, which is useless. It's disjointed experience. It leads to wallet spam. It just leads to having a lot of unrelated NFTs in your wallet. This way, a single NFT can be rendered in different outputs, but it's the same NFT. Then you can also pick which one is the primary one to display on marketplaces. The other AIPs that I want to mention, the other Legos, are nestable and equipable, which means that you can put other NFTs into these NFTs. So any NFT 2.0 can contain any other NFT 2.0. And this is more than just putting an NFT inside another one. It's also about being able to equip them onto the NFT in question. And so here the lobster has one hat, then the lobster has another hat. Now, what if the asset, the rendering output of the NFT changes so that none of these rendering outputs of the equipables actually match? So you now have here this voxel-based lobster, which of course the style doesn't match the hats, you know? Well, those hats are also actually NFTs, just regular old NFTs, just NFTs 2.0, just like any other, only that they can also be equipped onto another one. That's just a small little feature upgrade that's already in there. And so now the hat can also have multiple assets, multiple types of rendering. And so now this top hat can have a voxel version and a whatever, the cartoonish version it is. So now you can actually switch the asset to the voxel version, and now the voxel hat is compatible with the voxel lobster. So you actually solve the problem by using this. You solve the problem there where gamers had, they were complaining about skins not being transferable from one game to another. Now they are, because one NFT can have two files, one file for Fortnite, one file for Borderlands, and depending on which game you're playing that NFT in, that's the file that gets loaded automatically. Then what if a new collection comes up that isn't compatible at all and isn't even from the same author, but still wants to share in that global item equipables? Well, you can again add yet another asset to this hat, which is designed to fit into that other collection. And this is something you declare where you add a new asset to an NFT, you declare it compatible with another collection. And so now if we have a stained glass top hat, we can equip the stained glass top hat into the stained glass window avatar. And so what is all this? Well, this is where the minimalistic soulbound interface for NFTs comes in, or as we call it, soulbound 2.0, where basically you can have NFTs inside of other NFTs, but then make them non-transferable, which means that you can lock an NFT inside another NFT, which can be equipable or not equipable. So what is all this when you put it together? Well, you can have different protocols or apps or chains that have certain tasks for you to do. Maybe you need to LP, maybe you need to vote, maybe you need to stake, maybe you need to make proposals in democracy, whatever. And based on those actions, you can get reputational and equipable NFTs into your avatar. Let's say that your avatar is the lobster, right? And so now you do something for Yearn Finance, and you do something for Coinbase, and you do something for Jumper Exchange, and you get these NFTs. Yearn only gave us a reputational, but Coinbase NFT and Jumper NFT also came with some equipables as well, so that you get some swag along with it. So what's the difference between these? Well, the red one is just a non-transferable, just a reputation marker inside of your avatar, and you can't move it out. So you upgraded your reputation. But the other ones, the blue part is the reputational that you cannot move out, but the hat is equipable and you can trade it on the open market. So now all of these projects that are joining this NFT 2.0 ecosystem are automatically compatible between each other. And you're getting this massive global item economy where you can get other projects to trade their equipables along each other, but also have reputation added to those avatars. So what does this look like in the end when you have some avatars with reputation? Well, every app, every chain, every team will assign certain value to certain types of reputation. So maybe Jumper values you helping them a lot. So they give 30 points and 15 points for you doing something for them, but they really don't like Coinbase. So they don't care at all if you have Coinbase reputation. So they give you 0 points for this. Coinbase, on the other hand, really doesn't like Jumper. So if you help them, they add minus points to you, And so this leads to this kind of battle of reputation between the projects while adding an additional revenue stream to all of them through these equipables that you can trade between these avatars. And the avatars are just NFT 2.0 projects that you can share. So as soon as you register for a chain or a project, make a wallet, you can be given a reputational avatar. This is all built into these NFT 2.0 standards. And so this allows you to collect reputation across the board, which is especially useful for Polkadot, where you have so much to do on chain in terms of democracy, voting, staking, nominating, delegating. All of that stuff that you can do on chain can be represented as reputation. And so why is that ultimately useful? Well, you can gate access to apps by reputation. So you only have access to a certain app if you have a certain reputation, which is very useful if an app is looking for early adopters who are also power users. So you can actually, when you're building a new app, you can very easily check people's accounts, check people's reputational avatars and see, okay, this guy did this, and this. Therefore, he's a power user. I want to give him beta access because I know he will really battle test my application or my chain, my protocol. There's whale resistance, which we know is a huge problem right now in Polkadot, where you actually have people who invested very early on and they're undefeatable in terms of votes, which also leads to voter apathy. Because if you have 100 DOT, it makes absolutely no sense to vote on any proposal when there's another whale voting with 10 million DOT, you know? And so with this, everybody starts from zero. Everybody starts with reputation zero, which is very, very important because it always allows a small player to catch up with the whale. The whale is no longer powerful because they have a lot of tokens that you can never catch up with because through staking, they get more and more and more. Therefore, their vote is more and more powerful. Instead, you all start at zero. And if you keep voting, you will eventually be much more powerful than a whale who is asleep and has a lot of tokens. And so you can always catch up to someone who is inactive and maybe too powerful economically for you. There's also this zero-sum game resistance where rather than all NFT collections that are being launched today competing in this zero-sum game with everybody else, trying to attack their users, trying to get their users, their volume, instead, because in the NFT 2.0 universe, every collection is compatible with every other collection, no matter what, no tweaks needed. You have this global equipables market where everybody's earning royalties from everybody trading everybody else's equipables. So everybody wins. It's the tide that rises all boats. And finally, there's this gamification of participation, which is incredibly interesting because you actually encourage people to participate. Some people care about gamification and collecting these equipables, like myself, I'm a sucker for that. Others really want to collect that reputation and become powerful and have a visual and a reputational indicator of their activity. Right now, this is not visible. If it were, then we would happily kick out many council members who have never voted on a single proposal. But if they had a reputation attached to their name, this would be a game changer. And additionally, with proxy accounts in Polkadot in particular, you can actually really nicely use these as well, with some tweaks needed on the runtime level, but in theory, NFTs 2.0 could be wallets themselves. So instead of having an account that's just, an account, that account could actually be an NFT 2.0. And so you have a wallet that is actually an avatar. Your avatar itself is the wallet. And then you can equip items and collect reputation in your wallet itself, building over time a visual representation and a reputational representation of your participation in this ecosystem. And I'm out of time, but please hit me up on Twitter or Telegram if you want to learn more about this. I would be happy to talk to anybody and give you resources on how to get started developing on this. We'll be launching a lot of new prototypes on a lot of different chains using this very, very soon. And we'd be very happy to see everybody else join in on this huge party of reputation renaissance in the crypto ecosystem. Thank you.